All right, here we go. I'm a little bit, I don't know, I feel like I've taken a step back on my congestion. I thought I was doing well, but I kind of slept like poo last night, so. We'll see how it goes. All right, let me do a little setup here. I need to open. I need to open my winter file, which is down here somewhere. That way I can get my info stuff here. Let's see if I can paste this in front. What do I usually operate on? I think I did it 1,000. I think I did 1,000 by 1,000. Oh. There we go. Oh, layer. And then let's lock you and hide you. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, I can open this up and have it running. All right. I keep on forgetting I didn't put the stream live yet, so I've been thinking I might do a different stinger for the transition between scenes. I know the file exists, I'm just not sure where, and I'm not sure where I hid it. I found like a 1-second version that is like half of what it's supposed to be, so I'm not sure in what folder I hid it, and I kind of have to. It's obviously not on the drive I transferred, so I think, but it's not a big deal because well, it is kind of a big deal because I'd have to install and open After Effects and resave. So maybe it would just behoove me to make a new one because, yeah. And that one really doesn't have much to do with characters or anything. It's just leaves, you know, folding and folding in and then revealing. So what I'm doing today, okay. There we go. All right, so I kind of want to, last year, let me see, let me just show you. So what I'm doing here is every season I update the info panel that goes at the end of my comics on Instagram and TikTok. And so this right here was the winter panel right here. And I did a different, you know, I do like to push it on the camera angle. So this time I pushed it a little bit out of my comfort zone to have like a bird's eye looking down view. And then you can see here, you can't really see it, but some of the other ones that I've done for the different seasons. So this was spring 2025, this was summer, and this was fall, and this is winter. And then I did this one for the previous year. Some of my favorite ones have been spring, but definitely I was really killing it on 2023's info panels. So I had this one that was really bright, and this one that was that kind of unconventional angle, bird's eye looking down onto the scene. I really loved the ice cream little kiosk on that one. I really felt like I kind of pushed it creatively on those. These are good, but yeah, I like these. I loved the Granny Bear and Boop on the kind of billowy hillside where, you know, flower petals are flowing everywhere. I want to definitely capture that feeling again. But I'm thinking maybe a couple of characters walking through a flower field, like maybe a tulip field. Maybe have a nice frame in the foreground, kind of like the strawberries are framing it here. So just now I need to that one was pretty cool too. They were kind of sitting in the sun. Hey Chris, welcome to the stream. I'm trying to... I was looking at my screen up here, trying to do something down here. That's really not working. Yeah, that was planting. I haven't really done one where... That one's as close to walking through a field of flowers that I've gotten, so... Maybe have... I'm thinking maybe Boop. Maybe Boop and Tuxie? Tuxie's never been featured on a info panel before. Maybe she's got his arm. I need to make her maybe a little bit smaller. So let me draw, kind of trying to think of how I want to make these flower fields, because I know, like, maybe the horizon, maybe I need to... Do I want to have like it on a hillside? I do know I want framed... Maybe they're walking through and I have a few... Maybe I do need a hillside. I kind of... I'm gonna do a forest back here. Do I want to do like trees? I found this. Oh, it's dangerous for me to do trees. Oh, I like this. Maybe it's a... Maybe it's like Edward and Bella's garden in the middle of the forest. Garden. Meadow. Oh, God. I don't know. No. Let's think. It needs to be a field of flowers. And I know I've done that one comic where they found that really pretty pink flower field. And that was, maybe I can have Boop over here. Maybe she has a little flower. Or maybe I can shift that they're walking through this way. Because I have to be aware up here, unless I want to move this. Up here is my info panel that, you know, have constant information. Let me just be right back really quick. Hold on just a second, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. Toes, please. Oh no. I can maybe toe beans. I might be able to get her to... Oh, big stretch. Big stretch. No, just maybe a little sort of half stretch toe beans. All right. I think I need to work on the scale of this. I do want the characters to be front and center. Let's scale them down a little bit. And I gotta remember, this is a dead zone of information. And this is a dead zone of information. I can adjust it a little bit, but I want to make sure that everything reads well enough. And I kind of don't want to offset them a little bit, I think. To kind of bring you into the image a little. All right. Let's group this. And so what type of flowers do I want to do? I kind of want petally ones that will be flowing in the wind. Interesting. All right. Here, we need to place my characters first, I think, and then I'll do the flowers around them. And I want to keep it, I don't want it to be, I want it to be light and airy, so I've got to be judicious with my line art, I think, because I feel like, especially looking back in some of my older illustrations, where I did line art for everything, and I feel in some instances it got very heavy, but visually. So let's see. Hey Clint, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Happy Tuesday to you too. Maybe I don't need Brainy Bear that. I can always resize these guys later. Oh, good. Yes, that's how. Hey Sharon, happy Tuesday to you too. How are you doing today? Oh, I'm good. Happy to hear it. Let's see here. There we go. I'm kind of, let's see. Let me get this. I want to get these eyes just a little bit. Maybe want to have her looking up. This up. It's better. I've got a, I found a nice, like, kind of ergonomic, but on my iPad, which I use to animate for, I found I'm so used to drawing on the tablet at this angle, it's kind of difficult for me to draw on the iPad, even when I have it kind of propped up with books and stuff. So I found this really neat, it kind of is universal for a lot of, you can use it for a, you know, an iPad or whatever, or a laptop, but it spins and it has angle to it, and it was only like 20 bucks. So I'm excited to get that today and to see if that makes drawing, at least the angle of it, a little bit easier, because I'm always shifting and piling up books. I mean, I have a little easel cover on it. So hopefully that'll make it easier for me to just kind of move around. It's just, and it has like it also has a really flat, slim, I guess, packing form. It kind of just collapses. But yeah, that'll make it a lot easier to animate, I hope. I did a short comic last night. I really wasn't planning on doing anything, but I got the idea, and so I was like, heck, it's a single panel, may as well do it. So I and I'm trying to get back to the Tuesday, Friday posting schedule, so that felt good to get that that done and posted. And even if it's just a single panel, I think that could be a nice alternate form of a comic on Monday. Maybe not a full page, maybe just a single little frame with a poem on it. I used to do some of those. I did one for Fat Cat on Friday the 13th. which was really cute. That was quite a few years ago, but it kind of reminded me of that one. Nope, I want to keep that. And I'm thinking that maybe. And then maybe elbow, maybe not like that. Maybe, or shortening again. Maybe I won't need to worry about it as much because Tuxie's arm is going to be, he's going to be walking with her. But yeah, so today I'm gonna, let me zoom out a little bit. This will be the new spring infill panel. Kind of hard to believe I'm already updating it, but yeah. I didn't do my usual movie marathon for Lord of the Rings that I do typically in the Christmas time, because the originals came out around December or whatever, 15th, 18th. And so I would usually start rewatching those in December-ish. And I didn't do that this year, so I did that over the weekend. Over actually a span of several days. But thankfully those movies have good places to stop and resume later, you know. Yeah, I did some animation stuff while I was watching it. Did some other just kind of casual drawing and sketching. But I was remembering, you know, now that there's a lot of short form clips of, you know, the behind the scenes and the making of, especially for Christopher Lee and Saruman's character. And some of those I just can't, you know, not think of when I'm watching it. Like the one where he's complaining about his robes, and it just, yeah. And I don't know how they could ever recast any of those roles. And that was another, oh yeah, of course, you know, he also played the voice for King Haggard in The Last Unicorn, and that's kind of how I first started to recognize that voice. Yeah, very much so. It reminds me at one year, it was at MegaCon in Florida, and they had I think it was Sean Austin, Samwise. He was had a booth, a signing booth, and somebody had a Treebeard costume that they had done kind of trying to get true to scale. And so the guy that was inside the costume was on stilts, and they had, I mean, that was one of the most intricate, neat costumes I had ever seen. And he of course came up to the table, and that was really cool to see. I think that's the only time I've ever seen a Treebeard cosplay. But yeah, that's kind of hard to beat. It was a period of time where there were a lot of people doing like Transformers, and you know that it would be a scene just getting this person into the convention center and through the doors into the halls. And I remember there was I can't remember if it was a Bumblebee or an Optimus Prime. I want to say it was a Bumblebee at New York Anime Festival. And that one at the time was in the basement level of the Javits Center. And I think the door was just tall enough that he could walk in, or he had to duck to get in. But that guy was on stilts too. And so he was built out kind of like the character actors in Universal, like those larger costumes where you can kind of, if you look close, you can see where the stilts end and where the person actually is. But this was along those lines, and it was a very beautifully done costume. And he had the voice attachment and modulator as well. But there was kind of a period of time where a lot of those were walking around. And that was one kind of attach it to the Treebeard one, even though that was in Florida. On IG the other day, I saw pics of John Rhys Davies, meaning 2 cosplayers that were dressed as a single large Lego Gimli. Wow! It's always amazing to me when I see those cast photos and you see Gimli. He's actually the tallest of the group in real life. I think he's the tallest of the group. I'm pretty sure. No, Tuxie, your ears aren't doing what I want them to here. Pretty sure he's the tallest, and the Lego Gimli was as tall, if not a bit taller. Wow. That's crazy. His ears are weird again. Alright, let's kind of take this down, get this guy up, because we're looking at it, he's this angle. Drag these out. It's a little bit better. There have been some notable cosplays that really, I've seen a few divas that were pretty good from the Fifth Element. Some of the more intricate ones that I've seen, like a lot of the steampunk people, there's this one guy that he had this, I think it was like a weapon or a gun or some sort, but it was so intricately done and thought out. I mean, it looked real, and just the pieces on it. It wasn't, because sometimes, like with the steampunk, they just take something and slap gears everywhere. It doesn't make sense. It's just like, okay, you know, I'm pinning this gear here, almost like glitter or bedazzling. But this was actually designed, and it made sense, and it was so beautifully done, and it fascinated me. And so they were like walking by the booth, and I was like, hey, stop. Can I ask you about this? That is so incredible. And he was happy to talk about it. And but I think it was a mixture of foam, sculpting, and different clay modeling things. I mean, just all sorts of materials put together to make this thing. And that was just one piece of the costume. That's always been pretty cool to me because I have no... I kind of end at the 3D. I can kind of think in 3D, but like taking a 2D shape and converting it to a plushie, for example, and how to cut and mold, for lack of a better word, flat fabric into three-dimensional shapes. It really is kind of amazing to me. And how you can design and figure out clothing and costumes by seeing them on the screen, and it's pretty cool. Here we go. This eye needs to be a little bigger, I think. Like, fatter, I guess. They kind of have roughly the same body shape, so what's difficult for me is when I'm pairing, for example, Momochi with somebody. She's kind of got a full... She doesn't have a head, a torso, and legs. She kind of has a head and body. It's just her legs are just kind of part. But Tuxie and GB are constructed similar, so... I'm not going to see his tail, but I still need to draw it in here. And he's going to be a little bit further back too. Kind of need to make his eyes a little bit bigger. There we go, that's better. Whoops, why did that just completely revert? That's weird. It doesn't quite look right. I need to kind of move him back to where he's going to be, because he's kind of walking arm in arm. GB. Let's just go ahead and have his arm here. Maybe his eyes are too far up. Yeah, it's a little bit more like Tuxie. or why I'm having trouble. I think it may be the proportion of the face. I got Wordle in 2 last night. Pretty proud about that. I don't think I've ever done that before. And the connections were easy too. Yeah, do I want to do the arm like that? I kind of need to move him back again. I don't think I'm doing... Maybe I'll just wait. Maybe I'll put this foot out. So he's walking and we have the foot out like that. Oh, what's that foot? Not looking quite like it should. That's not even sure what that is. I don't like this one, but I'm sorry, this one, but not that one. Let's do his shirt. Big stretch. Oh, big stretch. You gonna get a big stretch? Did I miss it? Oh, we're getting a bath. Kind of looking at me irritated, isn't she? I don't want to draw big cuffs. I kind of could just, yeah, I could just. There's his body line. His foot is out like that. I feel like it took a big step back in that I've got congestion like here, and it just, I was feeling so much better. I guess it's because I didn't sleep I just kind of slept like poo last night, so maybe that's it. Yeah, the last time I got sick, it held on like this too. It was, my nose was clear, but I had upper sinus congestion and weirdness, so it wasn't like I couldn't breathe through my nose, but it just kind of was this just weirdness, and I had to use a lot of cough drops, and I don't know. But otherwise, I was fine. I mean, it's just kind of weird. It is starting. It's by no means the like yellow blanket over everything yet, but there is a big, which one is the elm tree or the ash tree? There's a big one of those and nearby, and when that guy starts to bloom, oof, I mean everything turns yellow. And like I have a little grill, and I usually have to, it's funny, it sits outside, I don't have a cover on it, but I have to wipe it down before, you know, I use it every time. But especially in the spring, it's like the base color is black, but when the pollen is in the air, it's kind of like a golden yellow. It's so thick in the air. And I mean, I'm sure maybe, I mean, that's a good point. That may be contributing to my allergies, but it's usually a certain, and I know it when I pass it, and I pass a few of them in the park because immediately my throat kind of closes up and it's hard for me to breathe. I haven't done any testing to see what those actual plants are, but usually I'm okay as far as allergies go. But maybe this year it's just lots of extra pollen or something. And that's very possible. You know what? I'm just going to make sure that I remember to draw Tuxie's socks on. I'm not going to draw a line art for his sock because I think it's kind of, the line art might look weird, but I'm going to just have this white bit here. And I need to move him back too because he's a little bit forward. I'm happy with those eyes, so I can delete those. Should group GB. Doesn't matter. Might make things easier. Having him a little bit back. Not like this. Back and over so they are walking together. And I need to, her arms right there. I definitely need to move his arm. Hey Aiden, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I kind of feel like his paw should be, because if she's kind of walking, you know, like, gotta imagine it. Maybe that's more correct because then I can put his little, I can show some of his cuff there maybe. And then I can erase this line and her paw is going to be over there. And then I'll just draw this line and correct the underarm line there. Yes, I think that'll work. Hard to get this right. Yeah, that'll work because it can be like we're seeing his hand from the front, and his paw is actually like this, and he's like this. So you don't really see what's going on, but it's there. Hey Kathy, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I hope your week's going well so far. All right, that does look like a mess, but these characters are going to be kind of walking together. So Granny Bear is in front of Tuxie, and Tuxie will be in the background, well, layered behind her. And then I will need to draw Boop in here. And then I can just draw some flowers. It's a little bit wide on Boop's face, but I think I can kind of get that going. Let's move this over here. That's a little bit better. And let's tip her head up a little bit. She's going to be kind of holding the flower up in the air. And let's move in. And make my point size smaller. Yeah. I think what I'm going to also do is just ease that out a bit. I don't need that thick of a line. I think her body is going to be like this. Oops. I don't want her little digit to be bigger here. I wonder if I can just blow that up. And this little bump kind of makes it look like she has a little bit of a grippy. That was lovely. Oh, and look, my points. You probably can't see it, but my points are not. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's when I pay attention, when I'm like thinking about it and obsessing over it. That's when I get this, a point made with 50, like a dot made with 50 anchor points. But when I'm not thinking about it, I get one made with 4. Did I get a 4 this time? Nope, we did not. Well. Its toes. I can try again. I don't know if we'll get a toast. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. We're not gonna get any toe beans. She says, stop messing with me. You keep messing with me, I'm gonna leave. It was funny. I follow, one of the cat accounts I follow is Penny, the ginger cat, and she does the loaf check Olympic events, and so she was doing the Winter Olympics, and I kind of did a little mini loaf check between Coco and Tuxie, and Tuxie's loaf form is perfect. He has everything tucked. He's very structurally sound, but Coconut is just everywhere. And it was just kind of, I should have recorded it, but no, I mean, I guess my hands are small, but she is kind of big. I don't think they're small. Maybe they are. Everything's lining up here. And her structure when she's sitting too, it's like this. I mean, maybe with a little head right there in cat's ears. And she just kind of, I wonder what kind of bread that would be. Very large bread. Tiger loaf? Yeah, that would be cute. There's a tiger loaf. Definitely has the markings for it. I feel like this is not a very nice, I don't like that. So let's change this. Maybe move this up so I have less of a tangent going there. And maybe I'll just suggest that because this is her wing curving away. So maybe I don't need the full line. I call her a watercolor because, well, she does have stripes though, because like right here, that's stripy. But these splotches here, they seem more like ink blots to me, especially when she's sitting in the sunshine. They're just so deep and inky. Look at my flower. Let's draw this flower. I don't like that tangent there. Let's make that a little smaller because it is a wing and it is fluttering. So maybe I don't need that thick of a line, but if I zoom out, she's super tiny. So I don't need to have all that much. There is Boop, and I'm going to go ahead and group her so I can move all of these guys around if I feel it's too crowded. And I actually got her sizing pretty spot on. I wasn't even consciously thinking of it, but that's something I do is when I'm drawing the characters, I always have like marks that I'm looking for. And the best example of that is Boop and Granny Bear, because Boop always is just about the perfect size to fit between her ears. And if that is not so in the panel, that would be because she's in extreme foreground or background, or not in close relation. But if the characters are close to each other, I want to make sure I maintain those size, you know, comparisons. Like Happy Paper is of course taller than most of them, and Momo is, I mean, she's always taller than Coconut. Coconut is always kind of like a kitten size compared to the older cats, and she also has a little bit of a different face shape, but I always try and keep that in mind when I'm drawing because I want to have that consistency. Anybody knows how to get rid of this? Tell me, because it's driving me crazy and I hate it and I don't know what it is. I have smart guides turned off. I have all of the guides turned off. See, here we go. See, smart guides are off. And these guides are all off. But these are the guides that I thought these guides were the ones up here. Let me try that. Nope, that didn't do it. So whatever that is, I don't know what it is, but I wish it would go away. And I've gone through every single one of these. At least I thought I did. See, show all of that is, it's not a text thread, and it's guides, and there's nothing else. There's nothing else here. It's not slices. I want the bounding box. And edges, I need that. I don't want snap to grid on. I can definitely take that off, but that's not gonna affect this. I haven't saved in ages. Let me go ahead and save. That's not a pixel grid. And this is guides. And are those cyan? Nope, they're pink. So I can't say it's that because it's not the right color. Like a distance setting. It's like every single time it's showing me the distance from different edges. I've never, again, it must have been something they introduced recently because that wasn't on. Whatever. It's not the end of the world. I can deal with it. It's just kind of irritating every now and then. All right, let's draw some. Oh, did I not hit save? There we go. Let's start to draw some flowers. So now let's draw some flowers. I think I'm gonna go ahead, maybe I'll go in here. Oops, I'm not in my group. Let's go in here. And paste this in front. I don't want to have them walking on the flowers. They'll be walking through the flowers. This is going to be like maybe a bump in the road, and then the road is maybe steadily coming towards the viewer. So I have, maybe they entered and are walking this way. So now I have my zones. I actually really like this. It's pretty rough, but let's see if I can draw in and make these little areas of grass a little bit more. See, look, I'm not thinking about it and it's fine. So I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna not even, it's very possible, because I did note on one of my older drawings, I noted that, let's see if it's here, if I can find some here. I mean, not as bad, but there are certainly, like, that guy is made with a ton of points, so is that. I'm going to stop talking about this. I swear I've talked about, yep, see? So it's a problem that was existent before. Maybe it's a little bit more exaggerated now, for whatever reason, with, the new Windows or the new version of Illustrator operating on an older tablet. Go ahead and come in here and just draw some shadow under there. Does that look weird? That kind of looks weird. Quite what I'm looking for. Almost. Oh, it's Tuxie. Okay, he's late. He's layered behind GB, so got that extra layer there. Not thinking that I'll need a lot of grass here because I have flowers, so I just need to maybe make some little textures in the road here. So my shortcut to drawing flowers and how I think my way around it is I simplify into like a basic shape. And so if you're looking at flowers, a lot of them are, circular if you're staring straight down, at the flower part, or if you're doing from the side, it's kind of like a cone. So that's what I try and think, and I draw that shape first. So this is going to be a slightly, tip towards the viewer just a little bit, but you do see that conical side. And so that's how I'm going to think my way around drawing these petals. And another thing that I've learned that helps me keep the flowers light and airy is to be very judicious with my line art. So sometimes I'll have a bunch of petals I'm drawing, but I'll blur them together as one shape. And I found that makes the flower feel a lot lighter than if I'm drawing every single petal everywhere. It's the same theory behind when you're drawing hair. You draw the general shapes first, kind of working large to small, and only at the very end do you start putting in some strands as maybe more of a detail or a highlight. Because when you look at, you know, hair, you're not reading, and I look at coconut, I'm not reading coconut as all of these, you know, thousands and thousands of tiny hairs. I'm kind of seeing the shapes that they form. Like right here on her neck, they're kind of, you can't probably see it, it's facing me, but they're like this. It's like bunches of fur, and you can see little, you know, gaps in between where her neck is curved and they're kind of fanning out. So it's similar to that when you've got groups of objects. If you want them to feel light, just kind of ease up on the lines. And I had to learn that the hard way, because when I used to draw flowers, I very much wanted to draw every single detail. And it wasn't until later when I'm looking back at things and seeing like, wow, this line art is really heavy. There's a lot of it, and there's not room for a lot of, it's not air, but it kind of is air. It's visual air. It's visual places to rest. So when you have all of this detail, your eye kind of needs the balance of a place to rest. So positive, negative space and all that good stuff. So I found that I love drawing the flowers, but I have often found myself frustrated and didn't know why. And eventually, you know, after drawing for a long time, I figured out, hey, you're doing too much. Let's chill out on the details a little bit. And there we go. We got a nice little flower that's sitting here chilling. It's just kind of, and also, and I got this from Aaron Blaise. He is an animation director, and he worked on a lot of big Disney films. I was sitting in on one of his live streams on YouTube, and he was talking about, he was drawing animals in kind of the Sahara. And he did a little offshoot about drawing grass and details. And he pointed out that in nature, nothing is ever perfect. And, you know, you see a part of drawing realism is accounting for that. So if you look at a tree is never just perfectly in blossom, perfectly green, and every flower in bloom. Some flowers are still budding, some are fully open, some are done blossoming and the fruits are setting. And, you know, some tree leaves are, you know, pretty much ready to fall off. And so it's counting for all of those details and kind of trying to get away from perfection and introducing those little bits of decay that actually add to the realism. And yeah, so that was really cool. He's got great streams. I haven't sat in one recently, but I should. Which way do I want? Oh yes, this is a leaf. So I need to clean these lines up a little bit. Oh shoot, I just drew that in one, didn't I? How am I gonna fix this? You know what, let's just not fix it. Let's just kind of draw some texture and say, hey, this is an area of shadow. You can use your imagination. I think what I need to do here is, let's see, is this a reasonable enough line? Oh, it was. Excellent. If I had 50 million points to fix, I couldn't have done that. There we go. Linktree is updating my plan. Well, thank you for letting me know, Linktree. I'm sure that doesn't come with as a customer service freebie, that we're just improving our service. I like that flower. Let's draw some more. And I'm gonna group this guy before I move forward, because goodness knows I will probably... Now see, if I don't group him, I will need to move, resize, and reposition this flower, and it will be a headache. But if I do group it, I won't need to. So that's how it goes. Let's see. Do I want to have a... I need a bud. Let's have some buds. Our leaves. We need like maybe a flower that's thinking about opening. I'm just going to do some rough sketches here. He's going to be folding over. Maybe he's thinking about opening, but it's like, well, it's not been warm enough. And let's see, I had a few over here. I'm using these guys just to give you a little visual cue where I want you to look. So I have one kind of right here. He's got his head tipped over here. So let's just, maybe two. Nope. Do I want to do that, or do I want to do that? I want to do that. And that could be a pretty, almost daisy-like wildflower. Like that. But if I do that, I should probably have more. I should give this daisy some friends. Let's do that. They're all just kind of chilling there. Like that. So let's do those basic shapes, and I'm going to group this section so I can dim it and trace and then move on. Alright, so I've got these guys here. I need a lot of different wildflowers, and my garden book is way over there. And I honestly don't think that garden book has lots of close-ups. It has garden designs. Hi. Why are you looking at me like that, Beanie? You want to scratch? Oh, you talking to me? About a little pat. He says, I'm not going to give you elevator butt today. Her tail was covering the heater button. I was like, oh, is the heater even on still? It is. This guy may have... What if I draw one? I don't want to draw one that's behind this guy. Ah, the snuggles, yes. I don't want to put the blossom there because these leaves are giving you visual direction. And if I put this here, it negates this visual direction. So I need to find a better solution. Let's just focus on this guy for now. Did I draw a ton over the top of this and not group it? No, sure, I did. All right. I made chili last night and I'm gonna have that leftovers for lunch. Kind of excited. Because usually the day after, it's the same with soups and stuff and casseroles too. It's like the day after, you know, the flavors have even more time to develop. And so it's extra super good. Oops, I need that. Let's get into this group. And place that in front. So a lot of these petals are kind of like they grow kind of like this. They're all folded around each other, so they're crinkly. And I want to try and capture that. But have them folded over. But again, I don't want all of this visual clutter with a bunch of extra lines. So maybe what I'll do here is I can just block this in. Do I want to bring this line down? Ooh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Okay. Let's make this apparent that this is a different texture. This is Senor Leaf. have a bud. And I can get rid of this. There we go. Let's draw these guys too. And then I'll figure out, once I have the main pieces of this frame of flowers that I'm making, I'll come back here and figure out how I want to fill it in. I don't want to fully enclose it with leaves. And I think I'll probably like do something like this. I'll have the line art for the grassy areas fade out a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. Let me draw these daisies. So I'm gonna try and make them like daisies. Come on, let me have it. Let me have it. Oh, I had it. There. It's gonna let me pick up the shape I want. See, this is a little bit about what I was talking earlier. Not drawing every single thing like this. It makes it heavy. I want this flower to feel light. And it can curve down. I can do a little bit here, like maybe the wind is blowing and this petal here is kind of curving over. Maybe in this case I'd bring it down because it's curving over. I could have maybe something else right there. Maybe a little bit of a line. Where's your edge? Maybe there? No, I think that's too much. I'll just leave it. And let's go here. Let's go draw this edge in here. Maybe not. Because I have my line here. That might work. And then we've got that nice graceful stem. I do need, let's use, I think daisies have that. But let's just draw the line of the stem here. Daisies, hold on. Lots more petals than I'm drawing from the side. Yeah, no, I'm actually doing pretty good here. They have the little, almost like a button, and no leaves going up. These wild daisies, these have the long, let me note this, these have the long kind of things like that. I know what it looks like from the top. Show me the underside. Isn't that cute? A crochet daisy. Okay. That's a different brand type. Daisy. How do I do this? Yeah. Thank you for showing me what I needed. I looked up the botanical illustration. Oftentimes, those cover all the different stages in one illustration. And there's actually a Taschen book, I think, Is it Taschen or Faden? But it's a really nice, just encyclopedia of flower botanical illustrations. All very beautiful, but it's like huge, the book. Oh my goodness, it's got to be like, I don't even have, like, my tree book is pretty big, but this one is tall, and I don't think it would fit on my shelf, and my shelf is 13 inches by 13. I'd have to store it. Oh, I do have one that's kind of, the Walt Disney book is pretty big, and I have to store that on its side. But I like it because it shows different stages. A lot of them do. They're like studies of the plant. Okay. This one. Add one here. So this is not really a daisy because they need to be like thinner, like that. I'm not sure. Oh, with Lilyhammer? Okay, so I'm gonna edit. This isn't a daisy, but I'm thinking of a daisy, but larger petals. So I don't know what flower that would be, but I'm gonna follow maybe a daisy-like structure, perhaps. It's been a while since I've seen Sopranos, but I always enjoyed that one. It's funny, my mom is like, she loves Tony, but you know, she's church lady, so you can kind of, it's very easy to ask, well, how can you justify some of the things he does? And it's just funny to see her do gymnastics about Tony Soprano. Is that what I want to do? I kind of feel like I should have little bits like that. I'm just making a weird flower with shapes that I like. So we have left the realm of daisy, but I think I'll keep these. I like that shape. I don't often draw this leafy shape. So, wow. What did I do? Did I just have a ton of pressure? Gosh, that's inky. Look at that. Maybe I've just been drawing so light. If this was a real pen, I would say that the tip broke and ink is flowing out of it. That's how this feels to draw. But I guess I'm just suddenly putting a lot more pressure than I was up here, I guess? That's so weird. And I haven't changed the size of the... All right, well, whatever. I think these guys are fuzzy too. Aren't these fuzzy? I could do a little, I kind of like that detail. No one's going to see it. Okay, that detail's just for me. I'm going to start drawing the next flower. And I think I'm going to go ahead and group these little guys in case I need to do something in the realm of rearranging. Where's my magic wand? There you are. Just grab you and group you. Oh, big stretch. Hi. Yeah. You gonna come and squish? Okay. She is moving behind me to squish. I think in... Oh. There you go. So you can't see her, but she's right behind here. I don't know what causes her to squish. So inky. Oh, lost some weight. Her berry is very big, though. It's a cute berry, though. Let me draw the underside of this. I like that I made this flower a little bit more. I kind of want to draw this, show this petal kind of coming in here and flopping out. Oh, I won't do that because the angle of this probably won't see. Maybe. Nope, I didn't do that on the other. Let's just do two. You're definitely not going to see this because it's going to be below the info. I kind of want to take that little edge out and let's just bring this over here. And I had a third flower. I had a third flower sitting here, but I'm wondering if I should push it towards the back. Hey Dee, welcome to the stream. I am drawing some spring things. Flowers, and Granny Bear and Tuxie are going to be kind of walking through a meadow. I'm planning on making... I have this border with more detailed flowers, and then of course as things recede into the distance it's going to have less and less detail. So I'm thinking of various shapes of different flower beds kind of moving off into the distance. or maybe just groups of wildflowers that have sprung up. Something like that. So this is a rough, hilly place in the forest surrounding Cozy Town. So I'm going to have the forest up here. Not that much detail, but I want to establish that they're kind of walking through this forested, very quiet, secluded area. Have arrived at the realization that I like attention on the internet and afraid I might potentially let you all. Wait, what? No, Dee. Goodness. As Sharon says, you will never let us down. All you need to do is put out how do I describe this? I think in a lot of times in circumstances and cases that the work that creators want to put out is something they either want to see they've gone looking for something, not been able to find it, so therefore I must make it myself. So as long as you're putting love and care into your work, and that, I don't know, gosh, I should probably just, there's a really good segment from, I believe it was like a 1994 interview with David Bowie, where he talks about playing to the crowd versus creating, from an internal place, the things that you are, for lack of a better word, kind of called to create. Like if you get an idea, that's kind of a calling to make that idea real. Oh, thanks, Sharon. I try to appreciate your kindness. Life is challenging, but yeah, it's just, you can, I know it's really easy, especially in the online. I'm gonna have to, Pete's losing his board. I'm gonna have to probably go out. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. Oh my God, he's howling. You can't hear it, but he's howling. It's kind of funny. I'll be right back, and I want to address that, Dee. Just hold on just a second. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. That was actually a fortunate. I was able to grab a book. Oops. And that I want to share with you, Dee. Hold on, just let me put my ears back in here. Oh, let me catch up on stream too. I get that life can be very lifey. Yes, that's a good way to put it. Just get in your head sometimes. It can be a challenge to fight that. Yep. Thought that was Pete. Yes. Heard some howling a bit. That explains it. Do what brings you joy, and other folks join you on the right. Indeed, yes. So the book that I grabbed on my way back was this one. It's called The Creative Act. Well, actually, yeah. The Creative Act, A Way of Being. And the author is Rick Rubin. I don't know if, it's clipping it. But right there, that's Rick Rubin. And you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see, these are some of the, just a few of the bookmarks I put in it. And if you, let me just leave, don't know if you can see my highlights as I flip through, probably not. Yeah, you can see some of them. I did change from orange to yellow because I think that orange ran out, but definitely pick this book up and give it a read, because he talks about, you know, the struggles of not just creation, but, you know, what's a good way to put it? Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, there's so many good quotes in here. Yeah, now I want to reread this book. Let me just read a couple of the chapters, like The Beginner's Mind, Inspiration, Habits, Seeds, Try Everything, Momentum, Point of View, Expectations, Connected Detachment. And it's just like, in that, you know, there's some that I can't remember if he actually addresses being online and creating, but really an awesome, tremendous book. And yes, it is a thick book. I think, how many pages is this? It's over 400, but there's a note section in the back, so yeah, it's just over 400. But if you look, it's a very fast read, because it many of the pages are just like this, almost like a poem right here. And it's not a poem, but it's something like that. And but yeah, I almost highlighted the whole page there. But I think that might help you, Dee, if you take a look at this one. It's a very, very good one. I think it is, I've seen it pretty much in every bookstore. I've even seen it in the airport, so it's pretty, it's pretty available. And if you like the digital version, that's on Amazon. Let me just look. Creative Act. Let's see. Kindle $16.99, paperback $21, hardcover. Why is the hardcover cheaper than the paperback? That doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, 4.7 stars out of 5. Almost 11,000 reviews on that one. But yeah, I would highly recommend that one. Rent it from a library. There's even, you know, other used new for far cheaper as well. So definitely a good one to pick up if you're going through creative struggles. Get OBS here. I just kind of, there we go. Oops. Where'd you come from? All right, let's draw this guy here. Did I group you? Or did I just... Come on. I did not group you. I am in a group already. There we go. I kind of want to draw him behind, like how he is right now. Now let's just do that and not crowd this with a lot of line art. Maybe I'll drop my point size down a bit. Softer curve at the top of that. I think this guy needs to be a little, like, well, maybe I'm just putting too much thought into that little section. So if I zoom out, this won't be seen. So I should probably just not bother with it. I do need something here though. I do like how this flower's hanging out behind and has a little bit of depth there. But I do want to maybe close that. And let me jump back out to the main, and I'm going to move this extra sketch. Just move you over here with this guy. Oops, he's still in there. So I've got those made, and I'm already wondering if I shouldn't make this section bigger. I should just push this over here a little bit. I could use it just to go over the edge of Granny Bear's foot. Kind of like that. All right, let's see here. I need to address this side. I need to have a few more leafy bits, buds, flowers. Trying to figure out what direction I want them to. I'm thinking this will have something like that as the inner part, but I really like these guys. perhaps I can do it like that. And then let's make my point size a little bigger here. If I move you out, perhaps you don't belong right here. Maybe I'll make you smaller. Over here. And that might make these guys work a little better. But they're just kind of coming out of nowhere, so we need to address that. And I actually like this little guy, but maybe I'll make him smaller, like another bud like this one. This guy's too perfect. I kind of want to make him a little bit more like he's been munched on by something or other. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I could just delete you all together. If I have a little flower that's sitting, well, what if I do, and see, what did I just say? That I didn't want to put anything here because I was using that for directionality, but I have just kind of extended that. This is still giving directionality to the area. I think I'm gonna have to edit. Are we editing? Oh, so this could possibly be from this guy. Yes, and as far as directionality goes, just alter this all in. I'll do that later. So let's say this guy is from here. Let's see, put another one there. And how do I want to make this guy go? He needs something similar, but further behind. So let's maybe do a silhouette of... What do I want to do here? This guy, I think, can be part of this flower. So let's move. There. That's better. And maybe I'll just kind of do a little... I don't want to cut it so much. All right, let's see how this works. What I want to do is fill this in and have it behind this guy, providing a little bit of contrast here. And I might do this and this like this. A little bit more. Like here, it's kind of pushed back behind there. And this is in front. Don't need you. I do, however, need to... that little, whatever that is. All right, now let's try filling this guy in and seeing if that works how I'm thinking it might work, but maybe not. All right, if I do this, I think I need to have more areas of shadow, deep shadow over here, because I like it, but I need to make more. Let's just make some more. Do I want to do that here, perhaps? Say that this is... maybe. All right, and I do have a flower with a stem over here that's just kind of... he's just not containing himself. And let's make this... all right. There we go. I'm okay with this little guy. However, I need to do one thing. Since I have all of this faded out, drop it back. I feel like I need this little guy here now. So let's go ahead and do that. Now all of this behind here, I can get rid of that, like this little guy. I could repurpose him over there. And you know what? That's okay. Let me just go ahead and select this, deselect that, and let's go ahead and erase. That's just for my reference. Let's draw this little guy here. So let's say, let me make you a little thinner. I'm going to tip you up a little bit. like that. That one's just kind of on top, just gently resting. Let's bring this guy into a group so I can move him around and resize him if I need to. I forgot that little piece. Oh. No. Let's try again. Maybe that'll be okay. All right, so now, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pop over here just so I can get a little visual confirmation on my idea, because I've got these two overlapping line arts that are getting a little bit jumbled. So let me just drop a white fill in for Granny Bear so I can see these two guys positioned where they're supposed to be, and see if the lines that I've approximated feel right or not. Bring that to the back. Oh, I forgot a floof. I need to add a floof in here. We'll add one right here. All right, and so what I need to do, let's push his line art back. All right, that looks like it works to me. So he's holding her hand and she's kind of got hers over his. And you can't really see that, but I'm gonna have a shadow here kind of showing his arm is going back like this. He's kind of holding, and well, if she's like this. All right, that's working. So I need, now let's just draw the background horizon area. Whoops. Something like that. And I need to draw a floof in here. And let's make him walk, and let's make him be like, ah, spring. And he's got a flower. There we go. Like, finally it's spring. All right, now we can just going to do this in a group. So I'll make him smaller and move him around. Hard for me to not make the floof faces while I'm drawing. If you ever look and see me grimacing or doing some really weird faces, that's probably why. I'm definitely going to have to make this floof smaller. I originally wanted him running. I think his booty is a little bit too exaggerated. I'll get this over here. Got this little shadow here. Maybe a little flower bouncing on his. Really? I want these to be really far in the distance, so I don't want to have a bunch of detail. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to group this so I can give it a different line art color and push it back even further. I don't see that many details of trees that are so far in your distance. You can see that they're there. And maybe the canopy, like the underside. I didn't really specify how I wanted to cut this off. And I thought I wanted these lines to, you know, kind of whoop, whoop, end here. But I think, let's see. That'll be fine enough. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I will add the trees under here. I'm not 100% certain. And that looks, there we go. Let's save it there about drawing in those hashy lines. Let's see, how does this look without my sketch underneath? Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Deselect, deselect. I'm gonna go ahead and delete those doubles. All right, save. I think that's a good enough spot for now. I'll definitely be adding more. I need to do more flowers, just kind of poking up over here to illustrate that I've got this meadow kind of area they're going through. Sorry about that. That was Pete again. Yeah, but the characters are good. I think I'm solid there. The path is going to be going off to the right here. And then I'll have the palette. What I'm going to use is right here. So it'll be nice, bright spring colors. I want this to be very bright and happy. I probably won't stray from my normal line art colors a lot because they are warm, and that warmth of spring I want to bring in. I usually only stray in winter, and I have a cooler purple line art for snow and lower lighting situations, or, you know, kind of situationally in snow, or just if I feel the drawing an illustration is going to end up on a cooler side, I'll opt for that purplish, bluish line art. But in general, I like it to be warm, and I think that suits a fresh, warm spring drawing. So that'll be normal, but the other colors will be cute. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess they all got bought out. You know what? When I was at Trader Joe's last, their flowers were really kind of meh as well. I don't know, maybe it's just they've had problems getting good ones in. Or maybe it's just everything was wrecked for Valentine's Day. It takes a little bit to recover. Alright, so I think that'll be it for me today. Coco's here. She is snoozing very soundly, so I almost might. No, I can't even tip the camera for you to see her. Seasonal baby, who knows? Yeah, usually Trader Joe's has a really good bouquet for like $5 or $6. And you can kind of, if you want just that one, it's a great, oh no, it's $9. Wait. It's really good and it's under $10. I know that. Sometimes I get two and bunch them together if I want a bigger thing, but this one eats any normal real flowers that come in, and also fake ones. She tests it to make sure that it isn't something crunchy that she wants to eat. Overpriced tulips. Yeah, I believe it. You know what? I think, did I see tulips at HEB? I'm not sure. They sometimes bring those in. But I'll go ahead and switch over my ending screen here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be back on Thursday with comics, and I will be finishing up the EL comic, which is going to be Spring Bear's Good Morning Party. So she is going to overhear Granny Bear and Lady Boop talking about it, and she wants to contribute, so she's gonna come and like buy all the balloons and all of the, I think I'll throw in the lemon cookies as well, Sharon, that you mentioned. I think I want to do that. I think she'd like that. And I think it was you on Instagram. But yeah, someone suggested, because I posed a question, what do you think they would bring to Spring Bear's party? And a lemon cookie suggestion sounded pretty good. Thank you, Kathy. Take care, you too. Thank you so much, Chris, Kathy, Dee, Sharon, Clint, if you're still lurking. I hope you guys have a great rest. Oh wait, we had also Aiden. Aiden dropped by for a little bit. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you next time.